cover us and support our programs holistically. Really appreciate that. Obviously, new week, new challenge, new opportunity. Every week creates a different challenge. That's the beauty of what we do. We get an opportunity every week to go out and kind of focus on improving with a new challenge in front of us. Jackson State have an appropriate fear for our opponent, which is the respect to go out and prepare extremely well with the focus on being improving in all phases. There were some positives from last week's game, but there were definitely some things that we got to get corrected and corrected fast in order to continue to move forward in the manner we want to. Jackson State, I think I read something today, they're on an 11-game win streak. Definitely a winning culture, which creates a lot of confidence. That's something that we're trying to create here, and obviously you have to win games to do that. It works on your temperament, it works on how you respond. Winning cures a lot, and they've done a really good job. Coach Taylor's done a phenomenal job of instilling that in his team, in his program, his organization. The fan base expects to win. His program expects to win, which makes him a difficult opponent. Quarterback's a really good player. The skill guys are competitive. When the ball is in the air, the quarterback can make all the throws. They've got players that have all the skill sets that you're looking for. They've got outside guys with length and speed. They've got inside guys with short area quickness and change of direction that can really make it really difficult to get them on the ground. The O-line is really big, which creates an opportunity for them to run the ball. I think they ran for close to 200 yards last week, which is a phenomenal feat. Not only the running backs having the ability to get their foot in the ground and use their vision, but also the O-line creating those holes. And kind of what we talked about last week, when you have that kind of size up front, you kind of wear on people, which is typically when you start getting the big runs, the explosive runs when you have good backs. So defensively, really stout and powerful D-line, excuse me. Number 0 didn't play last week, but we anticipate him being back, All-American. Really good defensive linemen. They got a lot of guys, they rotate, a lot of guys with length and speed. Number 6 on the edge does a really good job in the pass rush. I believe he had 2 sacks or 2.5 sacks last week, getting after the passer. They got a really good scheme, which keeps the ball in front of them, pressures the ball, gets enough hats to the ball when they need to. They're able to kind of mix some things up on the back end. Their back end guys are sound. Number 15, Salas, does a really good job of coming down with violent intentions. Really good tackler in space. So it's going to be a challenge. We need to improve quickly. That's everyone, coaches, players, everyone involved, in order to have a chance to go out this week and play really well. So with that, I'll open up questions.
Coach, after week 1, gone through the experience, the prep week, the game itself, you've seen the film, kind of speak to what your message is to your guys this week through practice, and especially in terms of cleaning things up.
Yeah, I thought we had a good week. There were a lot of distractions last week in-house, not first game and all those things, but in-house there were a lot of things that we were working through that we got to be able to get over and focus on the main thing. You're talking a new season, first game, opponent you really don't have any film on, so what are you studying versus what are you anticipating? We really didn't have a depth chart, that was kind of, fluid. So, guys with the uncertainty of how many plays am I going to play? All those things are distractions, as part of it. As coaches, we try and, talk them through, focusing on the main thing, but they're still 18 to 22-year-olds. So trying to get them to understand that, every day you got to come out and try to perform to the best of your ability. There were some positives. I thought we had a really good week of preparation. I thought last Tuesday was probably one of our better practices. I told them after the game, last Tuesday was our best practice. Well, what did we do with the other 30? That doesn't mean they were bad, but to me, every day you got to come out and change your best, and learning how to stack days on top of days on top of days. A lot of the young men, speaking of last week, this week it plays into the same thing. Had a lot of relationship connection, to last week's opponent. Same thing, in-state. A lot of these guys played high school with these guys. Some of these guys' family members are alumni of that university. So it creates a different level of challenge. But we got to be able to really focus in on the things that you need to do to win. All those other things are important. All those other things understandable, but they don't affect winning. If I went to high school with the left guard, it doesn't affect how I play or winning. If my mom or dad went to that university and got a great degree, it doesn't affect me playing well and winning. Whether I'm a first teamer, second teamer, special teams guy, don't know if I'm going to play, it shouldn't affect my preparation and what ultimately matters. Last week was a good opportunity to learn that. Hopefully this week we
What do you want maybe to improve on offensively going into this week?
Yeah, I think obviously we want to be able to run the ball a little bit. I mean, I think you have to run the ball effectively. I don't have a number. I'm not hey, we want to be 50-50 or we want to be balanced. I think each week, kind of dictates your focus in running the ball. Last week, we didn't think we were going to be able to just line up and, rush for 360 yards. So we had different ways to try to be effective in the run game. I think we can improve on that this week. I think we can still be able to get the ball on the perimeter. I think we still can run the ball downhill a little bit with the balance of what is the defense telling us to do. We went back and looked at the film. There were some opportunities that we had Saturday that we didn't take advantage of in the run game, particularly. And then obviously you always want to take care of the ball. I thought for 3.5 quarters, I thought we took care of the ball well. And taking care of the ball is not just turnovers. Taking care of the ball is getting some yak or some yards after carry or after catch, right? That eliminates 3rd and 1. You get a first down. Those little gains of another yard, 2 yards, 3 yards eliminates 4th down. We did not do a great job in short yardage. Obviously the play itself matters, but what did we do on 1st, 2nd down where we could have had another yard or 2 yards? So protecting the ball has a lot to do with that. Making sure that we are headed the right way. This group here, you can't have a free runner because they're violent, they're physical, they'll knock the ball off you or they'll knock you back. Trying to eliminate negative plays offensively, that helps in your short yardage. Some of that is player driven, meaning, hey, I got to block the right guys, we got to cover the right guys. We can't let them, knock us back. We can't let them, run through those type of things. Some of those things are fundamental. If I got a slant, I got to run a slant. If I got a base block, I got a base block. Sometimes Saturday, we didn't execute what we were supposed to do, which put pressure on another area. So there's a couple things that we've talked about. Obviously, each week you want to kind of go out and just show improvement. I don't have a number. Hey, I don't care if we rush for 6 yards or 600 yards. Or do we improve on the things we're being asked to do? If we don't call many runs or we call RPOs and the defense says throw it, we're not going to have 100 yards rushing. But if we call runs, we should be able to block them efficiently and be successful.
Where do you want to see the defensive line continue to improve this week?
Yeah, I thought we probably missed some tackles. We had some opportunities to tackle for some tackles for loss, which changed the whole perspective of offensively what you're doing, and we missed some of those. I thought we did a good job of striking blocks. We need to tear off now and get free. I thought we did some really good movement things that we were trying to do, and we kind of got collected on some things or kind of bottled up, and probably in the second half you kind of saw the ball start to roll off the table and everybody's like, oh, well, you don't have an edge on your defense. No, that 6'6", 300-pound guy just took our guy and did that. Some of that. Some of it was, hey, we got some stunts and some twists and some things where we got to get a guy popped outside. We're getting grabbed. We got to get off blocks. So probably tearing off blocks and then securing those tackles for loss. If we get a chance to get in the backfield, which Jackson State's not going to allow it to happen often, but if we get a chance to get in the backfield, we got to get a guy on the ground. Then holistically, just making sure we're communicating and getting set. There were a couple times that the calls in, the linebackers processing, okay, now I say it to the D-line, they're getting set just as they're going tempo. So there's a few things mechanic-wise for the D-line. I thought we got a chance to play a bunch of guys, which gives us some confidence going forward that there are more guys who can play winning football. Those guys got to continue to have good weeks of practice and understand the game plan. It's always going to be different, So this week's game plan will be different than last week's. So being able to execute that is a big piece of it.
Coach, off of that, particularly in that second half, when they were getting to the perimeter a little bit, with your inside backers and your safeties, how were your thoughts on run fit?
Yeah, they changed a little bit in the second half, what they were doing. In the first half, we were playing the exact same defense. They changed a little bit what they were doing, which now puts a little bit more stress on the guys outside of the box and your safeties. Where we ran into the issue in the second half, first half we were getting off those blocks. So now you got your safety fitting and you got an inside backer or a D lineman coming, we're getting the ball on the ground. Second half we weren't getting both guys there, and now it's the safety, you miss a tackle, now it's a 6-yard run. I was joking with Chris Jones, he probably had, I don't know, what was it, John, 10, 15 tackles? Well, he missed about 8, so he could be the leading tackler in the country. So there was some opportunities there, where we got a chance to, we knew what we were doing was going to be a 4-yard roll off the table. We didn't anticipate it being a 12-yard roll off the table. You got to give and take some. We were trying to take away some of the inside runs so the ball didn't hit the middle of the defense. We wanted the ball to go a little bit lateral. In the first half, when it was going lateral, we were running, getting it knocked down. Safeties were fitting fast. In the second half, we didn't get as much of that. Obviously, they made some adjustments on how they were running the ball, some of the formations that they were using. So we got to continue to adjust. And then ultimately, as coaches, because we have a part in it too, we got to decide, okay, if we can no longer execute for whatever reason, not as strong as we were, wearing down, whatever it is, what do we go to so that we can still give our team a chance to execute, if that makes sense?
Coach, I was curious too, just, were there maybe some things last week that you maybe noticed, okay, we need chemistry here, or, this, maybe these couple quarters help with chemistry there, things like that?
I thought we were pretty good. Obviously, there's always things, I thought we played 50 players on special teams. 50 different players got a chance to play on all 6 units. So that was good. It wasn't a complete, not to say the word, it wasn't a complete cluster to see guys out there. The one time we don't have a guy out there, he was hurt, he was in the tent. And as we were getting the information, we were headed to the field. But other than that, I thought it was good. I thought the connectivity was good. I thought what we were hearing on the sidelines were good. I just think there was opportunities there. We needed to make a play to kind of generate or swing momentum. We weren't able to do it. Partly coaching-wise, we got to try and figure out some better plays to get our guys that play or to get that momentum. A big play in the game is JJ knocks the ball off the quarterback and they fall on it. Well, we get the ball on the 17 right there, it changes the narrative. We come out of the half, we hit a big return, and we stall out. We don't get 4th down. Well, that changes the narrative if we can continue those things. So overall, I thought.
So you heard what Southern Miss head coach Charles Huff, who is in his first year coming over from Marshall, had to say. And I ain't gonna lie, man, this is a game that Jackson State definitely can win. Southern Miss is not better than Jackson State. If Jackson State can handle business, come together as a team, do what they know how to do, this should be a real close game with Jackson State being able to take this one. So I definitely don't see a blowout in this game, especially Southern Miss coming off of a loss. There definitely going to be tense moments and stressing in this game to make sure they don't lose, because that's the worst thing that can happen to them if they start 0-2, losing their second game to Jackson State. So the pressure's on them. Jackson State could go in there and just play loose, go play football, man, and just do what they normally do. And I promise Jackson State, in my opinion, should win this game. I would not be shocked by any means if they handle business. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section.